obviously you've done Cinderella all over the place, but how did you get together? How did it all come about?
I think Malin ought to start with that because
okay.
it's
Yeah, no, it's
Right,
it
once upon a
evolves.
time.
Once upon a time, there was a
Yes.
little girl. She watched Tales of Beatrix Potter on the TV. Yeah. Eventually, I ended up at the Bennish Institute of Choreology, did the complete course there, and with this diploma of advanced teaching diploma in my back pocket, I just suddenly found myself in Amsterdam with a job. Yeah, as a stager of choreographic works. And there I met Michael Somes 2 years after I started, and we worked together on Cinderella.
Yes, Cinderella was the first thing she did when she went to Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was the first thing I saw, it was the first thing we did. Mixed with other things, I had to teach 100 ballets, but it was Michael came back, and 2 years after I had met Michael and we had worked together there, Wendy came also 2 years after, because she had now started to join Michael on staging.
I think I must have
The
retired
ballets.
from dancing.
You retired from dancing,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah.
1990 that was.
Yes,
Yes,
1991, somewhere
Yes.
there.
Yes,
Yeah,
I came
is that
over
correct?
in 1991. And you started in 87.
Yes, I was on it in 87 and taught more parts in it in 89, and then we came back. It was so popular. And Wendy was there, and it was also in Amsterdam that Wayne Eadling and I worked together.
Yes. Wayne was director there.
He was director in the Dutch National Ballet, and it was there that Wayne and I also worked with Wendy, together with Wendy, on symphonic variations. And then Michael was no longer with us, and that's when we became a team. And I went
I
with...
saw how good Malin was. She's very dedicated to Sir Fred and many ballets, but she's dedicated to the work. And I just had to say, oh, come with me and help me out. Because many different places, well, Japan was our first...
1999 we went
1999
to Japan.
we went to Japan.
Staged for the
And we
National
staged
Ballet
it
of Tokyo.
for just the two of us for the whole of the Tokyo,
Yeah.
the National Ballet of Tokyo. Yes, NMT. And Asami Maki, she asked me to come and do Cinderella because they got a new theatre. There was a brand new theatre, and she said, I would just love to have this ballet. And of course, who else would be the best person to take was Malin. As you see, it's a very difficult thing to teach your parts, the sisters. It is a very difficult part to teach, and she does it admirably. Can I say that to you? I'd love you to say how you feel about how it's gone.
Yeah. It is harder to teach because it's not got named steps particularly.
Exactly.
And where it has got named steps.
It's set, but it's very...
In a somewhat classical manner, but also not in a comedic manner. And it is. It's quite... And it's a balance. I know you're really trying very hard. I hope you can hear me, sorry. I know you're really... What's really important to you is getting that line.
Yeah, not too much,
Keeping the
not too
humour,
little.
keeping the classical element of it, and also keeping it relevant now.
Yes.
So it's a big ask.
Yeah, and that already, Michael Somes worked on that already quite a long time ago. And I was there, so I understood that whole thing. And
I
then
think you did the courtiers for him.
And I
it
did,
was
the first thing I did
extremely-
was all the courtiers.
And
yes.
the courtiers
And
are
then,
not easy because they all do slightly different. And he also put some of them up on the platform, so it made a different dimension, which we'd always just done on the stage. And I think it looks so different. It looks so different when they were higher up, some of them, and some of them lower down.
Yeah.
And you did all that for him.
Yeah, we worked
Yes.
on that together, Michael and us, to really, you know, to have it a little more
Free.
It's in constant evolution. This ballet. That was Fred's wish.
That's right. It was very much the Fred's wish.
So it over that whole period, it was evolving, and it keeps evolving. It's that kind of work of his that must,
Yes, absolutely.
must
Evolve.
evolve.
It
but
can't
can you-
get stuck.
You can't do too much to it. You know, don't get us wrong.
Yes.
But
Can you say a bit more about going back and looking at earlier evidence and sort of
Well,
reverting
yes, you
to some
take,
things? Does
you
that
have
affect
to
us?
take what's right. I mean, the way Bobby and Fred did the sisters was really Bobby and Fred. People adored them. And, of course, they did it their own way, in a way, although the steps were there. I mean, Marlin's done exactly what the steps should be. But, you know, Fred got older and he cut quite a bit out, obviously.
yeah, it's a different feature.
Yes.
Michael Somes, he always said, if you can dance still, you dance it. You know.
Yeah, and you do, and you do, and it's quite, it's not easy.
Yeah, that's the.
You need the stamina as well,
Yeah, it's
because
not
what
easy.
you've seen is only a tiny snippet.
Yeah.
Without the massive costume on.
But light,
Yeah.
maybe, in the fabric.
But light, I hope. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Is that right? Yeah.
Jane,
Yes,
what
so
else,
Jane
Jane?
was-
So I was going to say you haven't yet danced it all. At least not that role yet. So you haven't yet had the experience
Yeah.
of the restricted costume. But how does it feel taking on one of Sir Fred's own roles?
Can I firstly say, I think 99 in New National Ballet in Tokyo, I think my dad was the big sister there.
Massimo.
So you know him?
Oh, God, yeah. I taught him all of it. Yes.
Yes.
So yesterday I was talking to him and
Really?
I was
Oh, my
talking to him
goodness.
about this process and he was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
he was
amazing, please say
amazing.
hi to me.
Oh,
And,
he loved it.
He loved it. He did a great job. He did a
Loved it.
and
fantastic
then
job.
now I'm here doing, not
Doing
big
the little sister.
you
He
know.
said he always wanted to do that role.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he did.
He still says
I
like that
was
was.
super. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to
So-
say hello.
Yeah, I will.
And what's
From
incredible,
us.
they still do it. In fact, this year, last year, February, had to do it all on Zoom because they closed their borders. Japan closed their borders, so we were getting up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning to Zoom with them, and we had a screen, and it looked like we were in the studio.
Oh, well, sometimes we thought after rehearsal, we thought we were
We
in
were
Japan.
still there. I said,
New,
I did, really?
the new world,
really?
isn't it? Yeah.
I thought we both had gone mad. No, but it really was so
Yeah.
strange. One day I told myself, oh, I can't find that sweater. I must have left it in the studio.
So yeah, for me, it's I remember like him coming home and doing these like little bits at home, and it's
He did that with you when you were...
That's
so
the
like,
How
first
old were
time
you
you
then?
said
when we
so.
did it in the studio, I was like, I know this, like I remember this, and like used to find it so funny, and like me and my brother with him, and we used to always like almost like a play, and then yeah, it's amazing that like I get to do this role like on stage and like collaborate.
Nice story.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
very
so
good.
excited to do this. Yeah, I'm still finding the character. It's with Ashton things like certain things, as you said, it's really specific counts and steps, but there's sort of flexibility in there, so you can put your
Oh, yes.
persona
It's
and
the
character.
first thing to know when what I tell them is that you've got to find your own character, your own personality.
Yeah.
and your own way of walking, your own way of running
Yeah,
somewhere.
walking, yeah.
And that way, that kind of makes everything come to life in your... That's was one of your questions,
Yes,
actually.
yes,
What
yes.
freedom
Yes.
are they given? And they are given that freedom, of course. But it is set, you know, the choreography is... And not to pile one joke on top of already a joke.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in the end. It's already a lot of jokes. If you put another one on top, it's not funny.
Do you find
Often.
internationally that the audiences sort of react the same way to the sisters? Or is there a difference that comes through
A
at
little
times?
bit different, different in different countries, yes.
Yeah.
Japan
They love it.
loves
Oh,
it,
wow.
absolutely loves it. I mean, nobody said, the audience just couldn't stop clapping. That was in February last year. Of course, they'd been closed with the pandemic and all this, and it was just so refreshing to see something and end beautifully. You know, the ending of the ballet altogether.
So again, it's the same sort of atmosphere as when it was created. There's the same sort of relief coming out after a
Yes,
period of-
yes, they yes.
Yeah.
And in America. They love it in America too. And
Yeah,
they've done it
they're
a lot
very
in
excited
America.
about it.
Salt Lake City, Chicago, Boston, New York.
Yeah.
You know, they're different. They're different even in America. They're different audiences, but they want it. So there we are. You'll have to come and do it if there's somebody off.
Yeah.
Travel around the world.
Yeah.
So Tom, are you finding it doing it differently now, or does it feel very much the same as you were doing it, what, 12 years ago or something?
I mean, yeah, you're right. 12 years ago, so it feels like new to me, to be perfectly honest. I don't. Yeah, I can't really remember it from 12 years ago. I can remember the experience. It was one of my first big character roles. And I obviously enjoyed it greatly. But yeah, no, it's nice to feel like I'm starting again with it. And you know, we are very much in the middle of the process. This is not by any means a finished article. There's so many of those elements. Learning the choreography exactly. You know, the timing has to be exactly right.
Timing.
And then you've got massive fans and props and things like that to deal with. Different types of standing differently, even. So you know, and the more we do it, I guess you know, there's tweaks that come out naturally. There's things that when you think about it afterwards that perhaps didn't work for you or didn't work for the character rather. You know, so still developing that arc, that character arc, and still developing the I guess the idiosyncrasies of the character. So lots of elements, all still coming together. I think we're probably right in the eye of the storm at the moment. You know,
Adding all the elements it's a tricky one for the sisters because they have got so much to look after once it goes
and
in performance.
It's, you know, as well, like you
A
said,
lot to look after, costume
It's
props.
quite tiring. It's quite like it's what we call puffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's really
When you get going, you really go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think my memory of the ballet is it's fairly relentless as well. You're not, you know, there's not a lot of rest period. It's like a lot of those big character roles. When you're not on stage, you're running to get another frock on or another wig on or something like that. So I think it'll be. We'll know about it.
Yes. Well, I think probably we've got to the point where we're meant to sort of wrap things up. I can see time is whizzing by. I think it's been fascinating. I think it's really enjoyable to discover what is happening in practice. Those who actually danced and knew, had the experience of working with Frederick Ashton, those who've learnt it and can keep these things alive. And this is so much an important part of what the foundation is doing. And it's lovely to see the work in progress. You're sort of making the point, yes, this is not a finished product. But I'm sure the audience here, that is what's so exciting. We see how you're putting it together. We appreciate the challenges. And then we go and look at something that's effortless and enjoyable. We have something to look forward to. Thank you all very much.